What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 6, Episode 3, Overboard. So let's start off with Amanda and Razvan. I don't really have much to say about Amanda and Razvan other than Amanda, I think she has rushed into this a little bit too soon. And I don't know if she's really looking for a mate for herself or if she's looking for a daddy for her children or both. I don't know. But she, for whatever reason, she's being driven by something other than wanting love and romance, because how she's like so emotional when it comes to talking about her children and whether or not her children are ready to meet Razvan. And then when he is making an effort to move the relationship forward and she's beginning to hesitate because she says she has to consult with her children first, I'm beginning to really wonder if she herself, if her heart is really ready to be in another relationship so soon after her husband passed away. So anyway, let's get into it. So it's her first morning in Romania. Razvan wakes up with a big old hickey on his neck. Okay, so she's definitely ready to move on in some areas, but not all areas. He had a big old hickey on his neck, or a love passion or a passion mark, whatever you want to call it, on his neck. And they said that nothing happened the night before. They just cuddled and kissed. But for whatever reason, she turned into a vampire and wanted to suck the blood out of him through his neck. So Razvan, he's all horned up and he wants to, he's ready to get into it, but he says that he's gonna exercise control and he's willing to go at Amanda's pace, and that whenever Amanda's ready, he'll be there, definitely ready and willing. And Amanda says that the reason why she can't really move forward physically with Razvan is because she has an immense sense of guilt, being with another man after her husband passed away. She says, even though my husband passed away, there's just still this sense of, I guess, that they're still together, or that she still belongs to her husband. I don't know. But she's feeling some type of guilt in being able to move forward with a physical relationship with Razvan. So they have planned, they made plans for the day, and I guess they're going to go sightseeing. He's going to take her through the city. And right before they leave the apartment, she is FaceTiming or talking to her children on the phone, and her little boy, the one who's really concerned about the sleeping arrangements at Razvan's apartment, her son wanted to talk to Razvan. So when she passed the phone over to him, now this is all happening through them telling us. We didn't actually see it. It wasn't on camera. So they're having a conversation about it, and that's how we know about it. She says that when she gave Razvan the phone, her son told him that his dada is dead, and then he ran off. And this affected Amanda's mind. It made her think that maybe this wasn't a good idea, that maybe her being on this trip wasn't a good idea. Maybe she needs to go back home early and, to be with her children, because her children are really going through something. And Razvan convinces her, no, you need to be here with me because, these 3 weeks are going to fly by really fast and we need to take this opportunity to get to know each other. And I guess to Amanda, he just doesn't understand what it's like, to have two small children who are still dealing with the death of their father. Okay. So she's in a huge conundrum. This is the reason why I'm saying I don't think Amanda was ready to take this trip. I don't think Amanda was ready to try to hook up with somebody from TikTok, to start a long lasting, meaningful relationship and to find a potential father for her children. This just was not the time. And I don't think this was the way to go about it. But here we are. So, as he tries to show her the city, Amanda is still in her mood. She's still like a little bit distracted. I have yet to see her truly happy since she's arrived in Romania. While she was still in the States, she was so excited to meet Razvan. Nobody could tell her nothing. Nobody could tell her nothing. Her sister, nobody could convince her to now go to Romania to see this man. But now that she's here, she's down in the dumps. She's conflicted. She's working through her feelings and her emotions about her children. And it's like, girl, like, what is it that you want? How about this? How about we tell you what you need? You probably need therapy. You probably need more time to grieve your husband instead of rushing into finding a daddy for your children through social media. Razvan tells her that he has an interview for a tourist visa. This takes her completely by surprise because, number one, he didn't consult with her. Number two, she feels like they're not ready for that yet, for him to go to America and to like see her children live and, you know, like in person. And she's like, well, how could you not talk about this with me? I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think my children are ready for that. I'm going to have to talk with my children and prepare them mentally, emotionally, you know, to have you in their home, in their lives like that. So yeah, you're kind of rushing it a bit. And so Razvan's completely confused because Razvan is thinking that, you know, they're moving full force ahead, that they're, you know, getting to know each other. Everything is working out so well. And he wants to go to America for whatever reason. I don't know if it's for his own agenda, if it's to further his relationship with Amanda and to meet her children. I don't know. But this man's ready to go to the United States. Razvan thinks that she can find a way to sell the idea to her children to make them excited about him coming to see them because, you know, she can convince her children of anything. And I don't think she's ready to do that. So she's crying and she's explaining to him what she and her kids are going through. Amanda says that she wants a guarantee that he's not going to leave them like the way their father, you know, left them, even though he left them because he was sick and he died. But her children can't take another father figure type leaving them. And so she needs some type of guarantee from Razvan that this is the real deal Holyfield and that he's not going to desert them at some point. Honey, sweetheart, Amanda, how old are you? You're 31 years old. You should know by now that nothing in life is guaranteed. Okay, you just got to take it day by day. This man cannot promise that he's going to be there forever for you and your children. He can't do that. So you just have to take a leap of faith if you really want to pursue this relationship. Otherwise, chill out. Chill out. Take the time to grieve your husband. Take the time to, you know, allow your children to truly heal and maybe go through therapy or something. I don't know. But what you're doing now, it just doesn't seem like it's a good idea to me, in my personal opinion. Moving on to Misha and Nicola. So this is a new couple that we're meeting. Misha is 43 years old from Minnesota. Nicola is 46 years old and he lives in Israel. Now, she works for the Catholic Church, but she used to be an on-air journalist. And one thing that I can say about Misha, you can take the woman out of journalism, but you can't take journalism out of the woman. Because even in her confessional, her hair, everything, her demeanor, her posture is still like, you know, television news anchorish. You know, she still has that demeanor of a television journalist. So she had a spiritual awakening about 10 years ago, and it came through a vision of two huge suns outside of her window and a voice that told her that she needed to pray. And she began to read the Bible. She read the Bible straight through from beginning to end, so she says. And so she is a born again Christian. Okay, she takes her faith extremely seriously now. She was previously married at the age of 22 to a foreign exchange student. Now, I guess when she was in high school, they had a foreign exchange student in their home, I think. And as time went on, her and this foreign exchange student developed a relationship and they ended up getting married at the age of 22. She had two children from this who are now 17 and 19 years old. And after her divorce, she was living it up. She was telling us about all the rich, successful men she was dating, men who were flying in on helicopters just to take her out on a date, very wealthy men, very well-established men, because she's a very pretty woman. One thing about Misha, she is really nice to look at. She's very easy on the eyes. So she had men coming out of the woodwork for her. And after that, she had her spiritual awakening. And now, you know, she says it got really lonely. When she became a born again Christian, her phone stopped ringing. People start coming over. And so she had to go online to try to meet someone. And that's when she came across Nicola. Nicola, like I said, he's 46 years old. He lives in Israel. He lives with his mother. And he says that in Israel, it is their culture to stay with your parents until you get married. He is a Christian, a devout Catholic, and he runs a Catholic website. He says Israel only has 2% Catholics, and so it's really hard for him to find other Catholic women to date. So the dating pool is extremely small. He saw Misha 7 years ago online. I don't know. I guess on her social media, she was posting stuff about her religion. He contacted her, reached out out to her and told her that he is what she needed and that he could help her with her path to God. So, he supported her when she decided to leave her career and to start working for the Catholic Church, etc., etc. The rest is history. And that's how they met. They met online because he reached out to her and said, hey, if you're looking for Jesus, I know the way. So they've never met in 7 years until now. And Nicola is celibate, and he's celibate, and he's always believed that he wasn't going to be intimate with anyone until he got married. So he is a 46-year-old virgin because he's never been with anyone serious enough for marriage. We see a scene where Misha meets up with her sister. The sister doesn't know exactly what Misha sees in Nicola because, according to the sister, Misha is completely out of his league. And that's the impression that I initially got. When I saw her and then I saw him, I was a little bit confused because, okay, understandably, he may not be, on the cover of GQ anytime soon, but he doesn't have anything that you would think a woman like her would want. But she's no longer the old Misha. She is a born-again Christian Misha. So to her, all she's looking for and all she's interested in is what is your relationship with the Lord. And it doesn't matter what you look like or how small your bank account is, as long as you're right with God, you are right with Misha, I guess. But the sister still doesn't get it. Nicola has not had many relationships, and so they talk about that. The two sisters, they talk about the fact that he's not really experienced with women, and kind of like, how is that going to affect their relationship? He doesn't know really how to handle relationships and how to handle women and the ins and outs and all the things that go on in a relationship. But Misha is keeping her fingers crossed, and she's saying that if things go well, then she wants to start applying for the K1 visa. So Nicola's out fishing with his Christian friend. Even the friend doubts this relationship. No one in Nicola's family is a devout Christian except for his grandmother and this particular friend that he goes out fishing with. The friend thinks that Misha is also out of Nicola's league because he said, this is what the friend says. I thought this was hilarious. The friend says that Nicola is broke. He doesn't have a job. He spends a whole day just praying to the Virgin Mary. So what really can he offer a woman like Misha? Nicola's last relationship was 16 years ago, but it wasn't that serious. They never consummated anything. Nicola was not happy that Misha was not a virgin. That kind of bothers him that she's not a virgin. She was married for several years and she's got 2 children. But he says that when she became a born-again Christian, that kind of cleansed her out and she might as well be a virgin now. Okay, when you see her 2 children, Nicola, you're going to realize it is what it is. Okay. You can believe whatever fairy tale you want to believe that she's a born again Christian and she's a virgin again, but she still has these 2 children to remind you each and every day that that's not what it is. Moving on from there. So his mother is not going to be happy that he's not marrying a virgin. And his mother doesn't even know the depth of his relationship with Misha. Nicola's mother thinks that whenever he's in his room talking to her, that he's just talking to a female friend. He's 46 years old. And this is something that, you would normally do when you're like in high school. You want your parents to think that, oh, it's just a friend. He's just a friend. But, she's just a friend. But, in actuality, there's something more going on. So he's lying to his mom or deceiving his mom. And I'm just like, what is going on here? She's a grown woman with 2 kids. She had a career and she's going to be with a man who has never really been with a woman, who doesn't work, who doesn't have any money, and who's lying to his mother about his relationship with her. This is what you want, Misha? Okay, girl. So we find out later on that Misha is wanting to get an annulment because she wants to get married to Nicola, hopefully sometime soon. So she says that in order for them to get married, she can't get married as a divorced woman. They can't marry each other as divorced people. So she's trying to get an annulment. And an annulment basically means that this marriage should never have taken place to begin with. There was something wrong or there's something going on where this marriage was not necessarily illegal, but it should never have taken place to begin with. But what excuse can you possibly use to get an annulment then? And I thought that was a little bit deceitful. Someone who is so, devout in her religion, and she's all about Christ, and she's a devout Catholic. I thought it was kind of strange that she was trying to find a loophole in order to marry Misha. In order to marry Nicola. And the loophole is to get her marriage annulled. But she really has no grounds to annul it. She's a divorced woman. It's a divorce. How are you going to change a divorce into an annulment? Like, how are you going to say that this marriage or something wrong, that it should never have taken place, when it seems like there were two capable adults who really wanted to marry each other? What reason can you use that marriage should never have taken place? So I don't know how she's going to do that. But I thought it was a little bit contradictory that she claims she's such a devout religious woman, but she's trying to find a loophole just to marry this guy, Nicola. Moving on from there, we have our boy Tyree and Carmela again. He meets up with his sister. Tyree still believes that Carmela may be real because she hasn't deleted him on her Snapchat. And I'm like, what? What? Just because they haven't deleted you yet, you think, oh, there's a possibility that Carmela may be real? I don't get it. I don't understand. The sister suggests that he should try to reverse some of the images or pictures that Carmela had sent to Tyree to see if these are the kind of pictures that you can easily download from Google to show that you're not really talking to this person, because this person, is out there on social media with all of these pictures that are floating around. So it can't be, a real person for you. So they do the reverse search on Google and nothing came up. They got no results. And so the sister was like, well, I wonder where they got these pictures from then, if they didn't just download them from Google. Well, this makes Tyree happy because he's thinking, well, these are real pictures then. If you just can't find them anywhere on Google, then these must be real pictures. So Carmela must be real. So then he starts to say that he thinks that maybe Carmela had a boyfriend and the boyfriend found out about Carmela and Tyree. And so maybe the boyfriend was impersonating Carmela at some point, and that's who the producers were talking to, Carmela's boyfriend. So he's trying to concoct all of these crazy, wild stories, trying to convince himself that Carmela has to be real, that I am not being catfished, I am not being scammed, that this is real in some way. And this is what delusion looks like, people. This is what delusion looks like. He's absolutely delusional, because you can easily just say to Carmela, everybody's telling me you're not real. Prove to me that you are and FaceTime me. And if they still can't do it or won't do it, then that's your answer, my boy. That's your answer. And then move on, because the longer you keep this going, number one, you're making yourself look even more stupid. Number two, you're just going to be more angry, more upset, more hurt at the end. Someone in my comments has said that they don't even think that the Tyree story is real. It probably ain't real. It probably, because you can't believe that someone is this stupid and this gullible. It probably isn't real. So protection tells them that this person who was portraying Carmela, I guess Christian, because the guy's name is Christian, had sent him a message. The person said in this message that it started off that they were just using him for money. And then eventually they began to really like him, and then they fell in love with him or something. They admitted that they can't video call or video chat because they're not the person in the photos. So they readily admit, I'm not going to video chat because I'm not that person that you think I am. I'm not that image that I sent you in these pictures. So the sister tries to convince him that it's a scam, and Tyree says that he wants to give it more time. Like I said, this is what delusion looks like. If this is not scripted and it's not 100% fake, this is what delusional looks like. But I'm leaning towards more, this may not even be real, because it's just like, who can fall for something for 4 years? You've never talked to them on the phone. You've never video chatted them. When you went to go try to see them, they never showed up. Like, come on, Tyree. Moving on, we have Jasmine and Gino. Jasmine and Gino are giving me an absolute headache. It was a headache the last time that we were with them. It's a headache again. 90 days, TLC, we've had enough of Jasmine and Gino. It's the same old, same old. So they arrive at the apartment. Jasmine gives Gino a tour of the apartment. So already he's stressing out because it's a very luxurious apartment. It has a beautiful view. It's extremely spacious. And he's just like, he's already stressed out. So he questions the rent, and Jasmine says, well, the rent shouldn't really be a concern to you because you told me that my visa was going to be ready any day now, so you're not going to have to pay that much more in rent, right? So Gina says in his confessional that with time, Jasmine has become very materialistic. She wasn't like this to begin with, which I find very hard to believe. That someone like Jasmine was not materialistic when they first met. I don't believe that for 1 second. But according to Gino, she was more down to earth in the beginning of the relationship, and now she's all about the finer things in life. And he doesn't live like that in Michigan. And they show us a clip of his extremely junky bunk bed, and he's like, she's gonna be hit with a dose of reality when she comes to Michigan, because this is not how I live. So Gina tells her that they have to live within a budget, and Jasmine doesn't want to talk about money or budgets or penny pinching, so she tries to distract him with her womanly ways. And so she tries to get him to go to bed, and he's absolutely positively not in the mood because he's thinking about the finances and how he can't really afford this woman. And so Jasmine tries to get him in the mood. He's laying on the bed on his stomach and not facing her, not making any eye contact with her. She's laying down next to him, and she's like rubbing his back and asking him, does he want a massage? And, Poppy, do you want me? Do you want me? Do you want me? And he gets really upset, and he's like, stop asking me that, because he's just not in the mood. And he's absolutely 100% not interested. I'm beginning to wonder if it's really that, if what's blocking him from performing, is it the money situation, or is it something else? Maybe he's just not attracted to her anymore, or maybe he's like got low testosterone or something. To me, I found it hard to believe that what you were getting into way before you arrived. So I don't understand, I don't know. I've seen men who are under some serious stress and pressure, and nothing's going to stop them from, performing. So I don't know what's going on with Gino. So Jasmine says that she's not happy that he's, pulling himself away from her, but she's going to go ahead and allow him to take a nap. So after nap time, she comes back in and she tells him that she's sorry. She didn't mean to get off on such a bad start, and that she's ready for a reset. So they start making dinner. So as they're making dinner, she tells him to start peeling the potato. He says he can't peel the potato because he doesn't have a peeler. And she said, well, just use a knife. He's like, I don't want to use a knife. I want to use a peeler. So he attempts to peel this one little potato with this big old butcher knife. It didn't work out. Well, it worked out. He peeled it, but it wasn't to his liking. So she wants him to peel some more vegetables, and he's like, no, I'm done. I'm not going to peel any more vegetables because I don't have a peeler. I don't have a cutting board. I don't have the right equipment. And she's like, I don't understand. If you don't have it, just make do without it. We have to have dinner. And he's like, he says in his confessional, I'm not going to let her walk all over me, because, his family gave him a hard time about allowing Jasmine to control him. So he's going to use this moment and this incident to try to get a backbone and to stand up for himself. I didn't see it as Jasmine walking all over him because she asked him to help her make dinner and to peel a couple of vegetables. I didn't see that as her. She is a controlling woman, but I didn't see that as being controlling in this particular incident. She was just telling him, what she needed done to cook dinner. But he's going to use this moment to, and then they get it. Then she starts falling apart. The girl starts crying and boo-hooing everywhere. And I'm like, here we go. It didn't even take a moment. He just arrived, and already the histrionics and the waterworks have started with Jasmine. So she's crying, and she's like, she apologizes to him, and Gino's like, I just want to go to sleep. And so he changes into his sleeping cap. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be like a do-rag or some type of a scarf that he's going to wrap around his bald head. But no, it's a baseball cap. He's going to sleep in that. That's his sleeping cap. He would have been better off with those sleeping caps that they had in the night. What was it? The night before Christmas? When Scrooge had on that pointy, he would have been better off with something like that instead of just sleeping in who sleeps in a baseball cap? How comfortable can that be? But anywho, we're not here to judge. So Jasmine asks him, well, do you want me to lay down with you? And he's like, no, go away. I just want to sleep. I don't know what's going on with Gino. I don't know if this is just for the camera. They're trying to create a storyline, that's what I'm thinking. That they're just trying to create a damn storyline to be on this damn show, because there's really no reason for us to be having Jasmine and Gino again if the visa hasn't already been approved, because I'm not going to sit here and stand for an entire season of Jasmine and Gino going back and forth, arguing and bickering, then making up, then arguing, then they're making up, then they're arguing. I'm not going to do that. If we're not going to see her getting into a plane to fly to Michigan with him. That's where we're supposed to be with Jasmine and Gino. Not this back and forth, him going to Panama, them arguing all the time, him complaining. I don't have time for that. If you want to bring us Jasmine and Gino, if you're going to force Jasmine and Gino down our damn throats, at least bring Jasmine to America already. Moving on to Riley and Violet. So Riley's a guy from Pennsylvania who doesn't trust his Vietnamese girlfriend because she lied about being divorced, and she lied about still being on the dating app after they had met. So he's leaving for Vietnam now. Riley tells his friend, the one that's driving him to the airport, that he tells his friend about the 150 text messages that Violet had sent to his dad when they were arguing, trying to convince the dad to believe her and not him, and saying all these really negative things about Riley behind his back to his own father. So the friend is like, you know what? That's a red flag. Okay, she's very manipulative, and that's a red flag. And Riley, of course, doesn't listen to some sound advice. Instead, he says, you know what? I still want to go see her. I still want to try to make this work. I want to get all the information that I can get when I'm in Vietnam to make my final decision of whether or not I want to pursue something with her. So we meet Violet. She's 43 years old. She's a primary school teacher, I guess, elementary school teacher. She teaches math, and she says that she always gets her way. Okay. So she's been married before. She also has 2 daughters who are like teenagers or young adults. And she believes that Vietnamese men are too patronizing and too controlling. So she decided to date foreign men because she believes that they will allow her to do whatever the hell she wants to do and not try to control her so much. So she met Riley on a dating app, and she says that she loves dogs. And when she said she loves dog, I thought she said, I love dark, because they showed a picture of Riley, I guess, on his dating profile. I thought she said, I love dark. And I was like, okay, that sounds about right. Why she'd be interested in Riley. But she said, I love dog. And he had a picture of him and his dog. So because of that, that's what attracted her to his profile, because he had a picture of his dog with him. So, she meets up with her friends and tells her friends for the very first time that she's dating an American man, and he's going to be arriving pretty soon to be with her. And the friends were like, why haven't you told us this before? Blah, blah, blah. I don't remember the reason that she gave them or why she didn't tell them before. But here we are. She sounds extremely bossy. She sounds like she is going to have her way or no way. And I hope that Riley is prepared, because she does seem kind of like a handful. So I hope that she's prepared for this. Riley, there's like red flags all over the damn place, but you're choosing not to see them, and that's your prerogative, and that's why you're on this show, because your problems are going to be entertaining for us. So that is the end of my review. I don't think I have anything else to say about these wacky people. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video, and if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.